YouTube channel. Today I'll be making a red velvet cake with cream cheese frosting to celebrate Valentine's Day. I hope you enjoy. For a red velvet cake recipe, you'll need 1 1/4 cups of flour, 3/4 cup of granulated sugar, a dash of salt, half a cup of buttermilk at room temperature, 1 egg at room temperature, 3/4 cups vegetable oil, half a teaspoon distilled white vinegar, half a teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, half a teaspoon of cocoa powder, and if you would like, you can add red food coloring. For your cream cheese frosting, you'll need 2 cups of sifted powdered sugar, half a pound of cream cheese, 1 stick of unsalted butter at room temperature, and half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Start off by preheating your oven to 350 degrees. Now we'll be mixing all of our dry ingredients together. I am using a sifter along with a whisk just to make it a little easier when I'm pushing everything through the sifter. And you're just going to add in your flour, your granulated sugar, your cocoa powder, a dash of salt, and finally your baking soda. Now mix until well combined. As you guys can see, there are a few chunks which we do not want in our cake batter, so luckily we use the sifter. And now I'm going to go ahead and set aside my dry ingredients, grab another bowl, and begin mixing together all my wet ingredients. You will need your buttermilk, which is at room temperature, your vegetable oil, your vanilla extract, a large egg, which was once again at room temperature as well, and finally your distilled white vinegar. Now mix until well combined. This next step is optional, but you're going to add in your red food coloring. Basically, all a red velvet cake is a chocolate cake with red food coloring, so this step is completely optional if you want to do it or not. Once that is complete, you are going to go ahead and grab a stand or a hand mixer with this paddle attachment and mix together your wet and dry ingredients together. You're going to add in your dry ingredients to your wet ingredients in thirds, just to make sure that no clumps and lumps form in your batter. This is a time lapse of me doing that. So now we'll be preparing our pan, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab some butter and just spread that around my pan just to make sure that when I place my batter in and once it is cooked, the cake easily is able to come out and doesn't stick to the pan. This next step is also optional, but I like to use parchment paper around the bottom of my cake. This will just make our cake more moist than if you didn't have it. But once again, this is optional. You do not need to do this. Now go ahead and place your cake into your oven for 30 minutes. This is a time lapse of my cake in the oven baking. Now that it has been 30 minutes, I go ahead and take out my cake from the oven and let it cool for 20 minutes. Now let's make our cream cheese frosting, so let's go ahead and add in our sifted powdered sugar, my cream cheese. I have to go and grab a spoon in order to scoop it out. And finally, your stick of unsalted butter that's at room temperature. Once that is well combined, you're going to go ahead and finally add in your vanilla extract. Now we will prepare our piping bag. So you're going to grab one large one, and you're going to also need one more, but you're going to grab a pair of scissors and a tall glass. If you don't know how to fill a piping bag, don't worry, you can look back at my last video. I show how to do it there. I also recommend you use a spatula when doing this so that it's a bit easier. So you're going to cut off the tip of your piping bag, place it into your glass, and then scoop your frosting into your bag. You are also going to save some at the end because you're going to add it into a smaller piping bag with a star tip for some details on top of your cake. After your cake has been cooling for 20 minutes, you're going to go ahead and remove it from your pan. Fingers crossed mine comes out nicely and all in one piece, and look at that, it did. The next step is to cut your cake into layers. So you were going to go ahead and grab a cake leveler at the level 9, or you can use a knife, that is also good. But you're going to basically cut your cake in half, along with also cutting off the top of your cake, which is the round part, and you will not need that part since we want to make sure that our cake is flat on top. As you can see, I'm just changing to level 6 so that it is even. Once that is complete, you can go ahead and remove the top, and you will not need that, so you can go ahead and, if you want, taste test. Now you'll begin decorating your cake. So you're going to grab a cake board, a cake stand, an offset spatula, and your big bag of icing. You're going to go ahead and do just a little dollop in the center of your cake board just to make sure that your cake is firmly attached to your cake board. Once you have done that, you're going to grab your second layer. Keep in mind that it is the top layer, so your second layer, and then your bottom layer you will later use to put on top of the cake as the top layer. Then you will go ahead and grab your piping bag and just do like a little border around the edge of the cake. And then once you've done that, in the middle of the cake, you'll do zigzags, spread it out, and place your second layer. Once that is complete, you will go ahead and take your second layer, flip it upside down, because that part is the smooth part and you want that at the top of your cake. Then place it on top of your bottom layer with your frosting and push it down. Now you'll take your piping bag and frost all around your cake and on top, just a thin layer because this is your crumb coat, which means that this coat is just supposed to lock all those loose crumbs in place. Okay, so I put this in the refrigerator for about 25 minutes so that it hardens a little bit more before I put the final layer of icing around the cake. And you are just going to go ahead and put that around your whole entire cake and see what looks even, what does not, and just spread it all out with your offset spatula. Okay, now that I've done that, I will go ahead and grab my smaller piping bag with a star tip and just do little dollops around the top of the cake. Okay, now that is my cake all iced and complete, but I decided to also add some chocolate sprinkles just to make it look a little less simple and empty. your red velvet cake with cream cheese frosting. It looks amazing. Let's go ahead and try it. Whoa, you guys, look at that. Let's see how it turned out. Delicious. The cake is super moist, and then the frosting is super good with it. I'm gonna go for another bite. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and sometimes try out my recipe. If you'd like to support my channel, please like, subscribe, or share this video with your friends and family. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye.